The first samples of Mr. Eroglou's approaches unfortunately confirm and intensify our worries. The content of the letter sent by Mr. Eroglou to the Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, proves that he continues to hold the same positions that he has always declared as regards the Cyprus problem. These positions are in direct conflict with the UN resolutions on Cyprus and with the high-level agreements. Mr. Eroglou refers to the existence of two peoples and two republics in Cyprus. It is well known that on the basis of historical data, the agreements for the declaration of the Republic of Cyprus, but also the constitution of the Republic, there is only one people in Cyprus which is made up of two communities, the Greek Cypriot and the Turkish Cypriot. It is for this reason, after all, that the high-level agreements provide for a bicommunal federation between the two communities of Cyprus. The declaration of an illegal state in November 1983, the so-called Turkish Republic of North Cyprus, in the part of Cyprus occupied by Turkey, is condemned by the resolutions of the UN Security Council 541 and 550. It is considered null and void, and all states are called upon not to recognize the illegal entity. The political equality mentioned by the UN resolutions, and which Mr. Talat accepted, is a political equality of the two communities, and not of two sovereign peoples, as is claimed by Mr. Eroglou. We are not in a hurry to draw final conclusions. We are waiting patiently to ascertain at the negotiations which are really the positions of Mr. Eroglou and to judge his intentions through his actions. President Christofias will continue to work with the same consistency on the principles of solution for the Cyprus problem. He will continue to work for a solution as soon as possible, with the same decisiveness and the same realism he has exhibited so far, for the achievement of an honorable compromise, which will be a victory for everyone involved in the Cyprus problem, but first and foremost the Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots, for the achievement of a solution which will reunite Cyprus and ensure conditions of permanent peace and security for all its citizens, Greek Cypriots, Turkish Cypriots, Maronites, Armenians and Latins, who will be able to enjoy the boons of progress and prosperity in a free homeland. Our wish and our expectation is that this year's anniversary of Cyprus' independence be the last one finding Cyprus still divided. Thank you very much. Thank you. I've been set for 35 minutes and I was 31.
Good time.
Yeah.
Mr. Stefanou will welcome some questions, so do we. All comments? John.
I'd like to thank the Govt Spokesman for the speech, but he did say that, that the problem will be resolved by intercommunal negotiations. Earlier you said that the major problem in Cyprus is international, and that is the question of occupation of the territory. To me, the two don't quite go together. If the problem is international and the question of occupation, how can it be resolved through intercommunal negotiation?
Yes. I think that I gave the answer in my speech. I referred to the two aspects of the Cyprus issue, the internal aspect and the international aspect. Of course, in its essence, the Cyprus issue is an international problem, and it is a problem of an occupation, an invasion and occupation by Turkey. But there are problems of having a character of internal issues, like governance, like power sharing between the two communities, and other. Even for the international aspects, the two communities, which are the masters of their common homeland, must have the opportunity to give their own opinion, to decide on even on issues of international character, which will be resolved in an international conference. We don't want the two communities to go to the international conference without to have any say on issues like security and guarantees, issues like the presence of the occupation troops in Cyprus, and many other problems and issues that are very important and vital for the character of the solution. So the United Nations decided just after the invasion in Cyprus that the two communities must work together in order to resolve the Cyprus issue. And since then, since 1975, if I remember well, the two communities are trying to resolve the Cyprus issue and to give their own decisions even on international aspects. That's why we divided the Cyprus issue into aspects, but first and foremost, the two communities must give their own decisions and their own say on the content of the Cyprus issue. And of course, Turkey must give her own word and to take her own decisions on issues that Turkey is responsible, like the presence of the occupation troops, like the presence of settlers in Cyprus, about the role of the guarantor powers, and Turkey is one of the three guarantor powers in Cyprus. All these problems must be resolved in an overall solution of the Cyprus issue through intercommunal dialogue and, of course, through an international conference for the international aspect of the Cyprus issue.
If I may continue on the same question, and I think in a forum such as this, we really need to be honest with ourselves. This formula of the two communities discussing, deciding, and finding a solution among themselves serves everybody for one reason or another. Very different reasons, but it does serve everybody. In reality, though, we are faced with the two communities having a total imbalance in strength. On the Greek Cypriot side, the Greek Cypriots are by themselves. Greece basically has washed its hands of it, and that's fine, thank you very much. We don't want Greece interfering. On the other hand, we have a situation where we know that all the papers which you have had to handle in the bi-communal negotiations have actually been drafted in the Foreign Ministry in Ankara, and they have been submitted to the negotiations. Now, that does not allow the Turkish Cypriots any freedom. It does not give them any power with which to negotiate. On top of that, we know that now we're talking about the Turkish Cypriot community in the north of Cyprus. It's only 1/3 of which is the Turkish Cypriot community. Well, okay, half. Certainly the majority of the people living in the occupied area now are Turks born in Turkey or children of people who were born in Turkey. So we have a total imbalance in the negotiating process, and somehow or other we've got to try and get the world to understand this, and to put more. I don't want to start talking about putting pressure on Turkey, but we have got to make sure that the world understands that it is not the Greek Cypriots and the Turkish Cypriots who are negotiating with each other, but it is the Greek Cypriots with Turkey via the Turkish Cypriots.
Yeah.